get into Nintendo's partner showcase / Indie World Direct. Talk about some takeaways that I thought were interesting. Okay, so they started off with the Indie World. I'll be honest, nothing from that Indie World really caught my eye.
No, nothing.
You know, like it was just like, that's not my bag, first of all. Like it really has to be something cool for me to like, you know, there has been indies that have caught my eye. Like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is one of my favorite new games. Like that was great. That's an indie game. But like for the most part, it's like, okay, whatever. They did have that one game at the end, Pizza Tower. Gave me like Wario World vibes, but like again, not enough for me to like. I'm probably never gonna play it, but it looked cool. But the partner showcase, that was really what I was looking at, and you know, this is when Nintendo lets the third parties kind of do a direct and see what they bring to the Switch. So we open up with Tetris Forever, which is like, you want to celebrate 40 years of Tetris? Here you go. More than 15 playable classic games from the Tetris series. Among these are the 1988 Famicom versions, so the Japanese versions of Tetris, along with Super Bombless, Super Tetris 2 Bombless, Super Tetris 3, Tetris Battle Gaiden. And then they have their own new mode where you'll be playing, I think it's called Tetris Time Warp. You're playing Tetris and it keeps switching the styles of every game. So you're playing Tetris, but it keeps just switching the styles of like all the other games. That is
cool.
Which that is such a cool little take and like mechanic to, you know, what is one of the most straightforward classic puzzle games in existence, that it's like, you know, it works. I'm down. So that was great. I honestly like this announcement a lot. And they capped it off by saying that in the wintertime, NES Tetris will be hitting the Nintendo Switch Online service, which was a surprise to me because I honestly just kind of figured it was there already, but apparently it's not. So,
my dad bought me Tetris for the Nintendo.
I love this story.
And that music that is just so iconic.
Yep.
Everything. All of that was just, it's like a lullaby to me. I hear that music and it takes me back to that little house that we rented and my dad setting up my little TV there with the Nintendo and my 4 games, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's great. That's amazing. Ryan, did they talk about, is there going to be any multiplayer online element to this?
Yeah, I believe there is. I think
cool.
The 4-player online thing, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, and Tetris 99's in it too.
Tetris 99.
Or sorry, the Tetris 99 Maximus Cup. Is that something else?
Yeah, so Tetris 99 does these themed cups every once in a while. So the Tetris Forever Cup is going to be the next one they're featuring. So it's just like a collaboration between the two games.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I never thought I'd be hyped for Tetris in 2024, but here we are.
24?
Here we are, Tetris.
That's funny.
Yeah. We're going to get into a conversation after I go through all this. I don't know. I feel like it'll be a cool topic that I have. Okay. All right. After that, we have Capcom Fighting Collection 2 that got announced, and wow, this was kind of out of nowhere to me because, you know, Capcom did the Fighting Collection with all those Darkstalker games, and then
you were a fan of those Darkstalker games right from back in the day.
I played them all, man. I played them all.
Yeah.
When I bought the game. And then they're hyping up the Marvel vs. Capcom thing, which I guess I'll just say now. They announced release date finally, September 12th digitally, November 2nd physically.
Damn.
You know I'm getting that physical and never opening it up. Which means I'm buying it twice. But no, now they're doing Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and I guess the biggest hook in this is the 2 Power Stone games. The 2 Power Stone games alone will run you, you know, if you want both of them, you're paying $400 or $500 here in Canada. Like they are rare games that were on the Dreamcast, and then they got a collection ported to the PSP, but that's it. But that is the most like available version that you can get is the PSP version because it's cheap. You know, you could probably get it under $50. And it has the 2 games, but like it's not like a great port, right? So it's like pick your poison. Either get a Dreamcast and pay full price or get the PSP version. But, you know, this is why these collections to me are so important because they bring back things that have been locked on other systems for so long, and now they're super accessible. They're enhanced. They're probably the best way that you're ever going to play these games, and they're affordable now. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I don't have any, to be honest, I don't have any attachment to any of these games in this thing. But it's such a blind spot for me that I'm always jumping at the chance to learn more about these things. So this is like just another opportunity for me to learn about Capcom's fighting game past, you know? So yeah, I'm super jazzed about this. This collection includes Capcom versus SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, Capcom versus SNK 2 Mark of the Millennium 2001, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, Project Justice, Power Stone 2, and Plasma Sword Nightmares of Bliston. With Plasma Sword is another one that's like, oh shit. Just
is that one surprised you?
That one surprised me too. That's just another like forgotten game, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited for this. This is really cool.
This is cool. I wasn't this was not even on my radar, so this must have been a complete surprise. And you just said that you'd heard nothing about this, right? It was almost a complete surprise?
It was a complete surprise. No one knew anything.
That's cool. Listen, Capcom is doing business.
Yes.
They're doing business the right way. Instead of, you know what I mean? You can say whatever you want. I'm not saying Capcom's got like a perfect record or anything like that, but they're doing business the right way. These collections are awesome.
Yeah. They're doing it good, man. Whether it's this or going back into the Resident Evil games and remastering them and making them super amazing titles.
Sure.
Yeah. The only thing I wish they would do is bring back some Mega Man. That's all I need them to fucking do. Give me the blue guy. But whatever. They gave him to a secret level, so I guess that's all I'm getting for now. Yeah, no, I'm very interested in this. Capcom just realized their worth. They're going back into their bag and just seeing what they can bring back out, and they're making money. That's what businesses should do. Really good.
Yeah.
Damn, Chris, this is for you. Suikoden 1 and 2 remakes.
Oh, I'm so happy when you put this because I didn't know. I didn't watch the show.
Right.
So tell us about this. It's back on?
It's back on. Yeah, so this was announced and then it just disappeared and they're like, what the fuck is happening? Is it gone? Did it get canceled? Again,
yeah,
Konami.
people thought it was going to be gone.
Konami. That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of, right.
So anyway, it looks like it's back on and it finally got a proper release date of March 6, 2025. So it is next year, but at least it's happening. Oh my God, there's a lot of music happening. So at least it's happening. Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster. I know, Chris, Suikoden 1 is one of your babies, man. I know that this is big for you. Right?
Yeah, it was just sort of that JRPG that it was one of the first ones that I ever played.
Yeah.
I think I've told the story before. It was Final Fantasy VII, Suikoden, and Star Ocean 2, the second story.
Okay.
Those were the three that sort of... I was like, holy shit, this is cool. Yeah. Like those are like my first trilogy into JRPGs. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see this. I played the original one then, 97, 98. I played it again, 01, 02, 03. And then I played it again like 20 years later. I picked it up on the PlayStation 3 for like $5. I finished it like 19 or 20. I just went through it. Really cool game, great story. I believe it's 108 characters that you can join to be a part of your team, and it really rewards you. Like you don't need to collect all 108, but one of those, but they're all integral. Like one of them is like a weapons master, like one of them is like an armor guy, another guy's like a magic guy. Merchants, and you buy these guys, and they give you a castle in the game. And they start taking up little spots in your castle. So you'll grab like a swords blacksmith from this town over here, and he'll set up his store in your castle basement. So now if you need weaponry, you just take the stairs down or you take the elevator down, and you got your weapons in the basement instead of having to go to another town or anything like that, right? So it does reward you for grabbing all these extra characters. I've never collected all 108 in any of my 2 or 3 playthroughs through it, but that's part of the charm. And the story does change as you play through it, and those 108 characters can suffer permanent death, some of them, in the game itself. Yeah. So if you're not careful, you might lose a couple of characters. So really, really cool. And once you get to the end of the game, for all 108 characters, it gives you a one-line epilogue, like what happens to them after when you get to the end. I don't want to ruin anything.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
Yeah. Star Ocean Second Story did that, kind of. Lots of characters to get, and then
that's funny.
It kind of shows you what happened at the end. When you reach the end of the game, what became of them and stuff. That's awesome. This is a day one for me, man. Because because I'm very interested in what it is. It like when I look at it, it reminds me a lot of like Final Fantasy VI when I see the open the world map, and then when I see you running through towns. But this is so like like the remaster part of this is so well done. The lighting, the graphics. There's a screenshot I'm looking at of them sitting at a waterfall. Like this just looks incredible, man. And if it's one thing I gotta like give myself credit for is I feel like this year I've opened myself up to games I thought I would never play. And
good.
Like Star Ocean was one of those also early in the year.
Yeah,
that might have been last year actually. But like I ended up loving Star Ocean. And I think that if I wasn't open to trying Star Ocean, I would have never got that experience. But I'm glad I did. And all I need is like your recommendation that this is a fantastic game. I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm in. Like it is what it is. I'm not gonna have my time wasted. And even then, even like with you not saying it, I always hear about Suikoden. Like it's like
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! It's
a legacy.
Not some hot take from me.
Yeah. So it helps that someone I know is backing up the hype. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster. The full title: Gate Dawn and Dunin Unification Wars. So there we go. Oh, Chris, have you ever played Suikoden 2?
No, and I was just gonna say that for me, it's I don't want to say bittersweet. It is sweet that it's a nice package and 2 is included. Because of the fans of this series, the debate is always which one's better, 1 or 2.
Okay.
And I've always been on the camp of 1, but I've never played 2.
Right.
So this will be a nice chance to do that. March 6th, and 2025.
If anyone is interested but are iffy, I want to say that, and I'm going to justify this, but they're adding a speed up combat to ×2 and 4 times speeds, and an auto battle button. And to me, that does wonders for old games like this, because Star Ocean had that. Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 had that with their HD ports and stuff. Like that really speeds things up, because back then games were slower. So to get through these RPGs, those like quality of life improvements right there alone just makes me want to get it even more. So there you go.
100%, yeah, especially in a game like this where I believe they're going to maintain the turn-based system. So yeah, it makes sense to be able to go up 1 speed, 2 speed, right? So
hell yeah,
that's cool. You're going to love this game. I'm excited for you. I want to see what you think. But to me, in my opinion, for its time, and even now, because like I said, I played it like 19 or 20, which is fairly recent, last 5 years.
Yeah.
The story still holds. So good.
Sick.
So good. I still think about those characters every now and then. Like, it hits you, It hits you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know then.
Yeah.
Moving on. Another RPG. Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. This was already, we talked about this, but I think this is the first time it got a release date, but I'm not sure. But November 14th is when it's coming out. I'm probably going to try this. So that's why I'm mentioning it.
You're a Dragon Warrior guy, right? Oh, no, sorry. This is Dragon Quest, right?
That's the same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah, it just changes.
And have you played that one before?
No, I haven't. I've only ever played 11. And I liked 11, but I didn't like it enough to stick with it, so I hope this changes my perspective on the series.
Right.
Okay, the biggest surprise of the Direct was the Castlevania Dominus Collection. This was the 3 Castlevania DS games, which are regarded as like fantastic games. Super expensive if you want them now. And again, just like Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel vs. The Fighting Collection, whatever, making these games accessible modern day is a big thing. So I'm glad that they did this. You could get all 3 of these masterpieces for like $33, Wow. And it's out now. It's shadow dropped. And Chris, I already bought them. So
whoa!
I had $30 in credit, and I'm like, this is where it's going. Because I'll talk more a bit about it later, but I think I'm gonna venture into the Castlevania games. I think that's my next destination. Because
have you played any of them?
Yeah, I played Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo. Never beaten it, but I've put a lot of time into it. And Castlevania Symphony of the Night, PlayStation 1, also put a lot of time into it.
Nice. You beat that one?
Never beat it, though. I've never beaten one, but like I've spent so much time in them, So I want to give it like a good ass like attempt, because going through the Metroid series has really opened my mind up to like, go back and like try things that you've always known about and dabbled in, but never really fully committed,
Yeah.
You might like it. So yeah, Castlevania. I think I own every Castlevania game really though for the Switch, because they do all these collections and like I've been picking them up over the years, so it's there. So
yeah, which is the collection that includes Symphony of the Night?
That is the only one that's not on Switch.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one's PlayStation. Yeah,
you can get it on PS4, but no, that's not on Switch. That's annoying.
that's too bad.
That's annoying.
These games are perfect for the handheld.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of the advantage. The graphics just, in my mind, they look a little bit better on the smaller screen, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to blown up.
And I'll be honest, I'm probably playing all this on my Mii Mini. So there you go.
Not the Mii Mini.
Gotta bring out
That's
the
cool.
Mii.
Yeah, man. For me, I've only ever played Symphony of the Night.
Right.
My neighbor had Symphony of the Night.
Oh, cool.
When I had my Nintendo 64, he had the PlayStation, and we would go over to his place and play some of the PlayStation. So between my cousin Edwin, who was turning me on to Metal Gear, I would go to his house, and he had Resident Evil 2, Director's Cut, and Gran Turismo, and Symphony of the Night. Damn. And I remember one time he called me, and he goes, "Hey, Chris, come try this bullshit Symphony of the Night shit fucking game. I can't get past the first level." So I'm like, all right, let's go take a look at it. So when I go take a look at it, I'd never played a Castlevania game before, right. Even though I'm of the age, I would have seen them coming up with the Nintendo and stuff like that. But it was just my dad never got it for me. I guess when I was little, he got me Tetris, Final Fantasy, the Marios, right?
Yeah.
But Castlevania just sort of existed outside of my peripheral. So it's definitely something that I've always been interested in playing as well. And I probably would start with Symphony of the Night and then see where else it goes, you know?
Yeah. I'm still like, if I want to get into them, I am trying to work out an entry point. Because honestly, those NES titles are fucking tough, man.
I heard.
Tough and primitive to get back to. It's kind of like how I didn't start with Metroid and I did the remake instead. It's like, I hope there's a remake I don't know about or something like that.
Right. Like, I mean, like a lot of these really difficult Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, you'll hear about this. Like some of the charm is the fact that it's just a fucking pain in the ass and you're limited to a system. And that is the charm. It's like, yeah. Not in 2024 though, when I'm trying to get into it. I don't know what that's not going to charm me at all. That's going to keep me away.
Yeah.
So I do need the remake. I do need those life improvements and things like that, right?
Yeah.
To make it a little bit more palatable. I guess what I'm saying is I need somebody to cut the steak into little pieces. Yeah. That's what I'm really saying here.
Yeah. That's fine. You know, if you told me you need someone to feed it for you, then that's a problem. Right. All right. So yeah, Castlevania Dominus Collection. Get it now. And then they closed the show off. Look, I don't really have interest in this, but I just thought it was like a cool little ender. Yakuza Kiwami, October 24th. This is the first Yakuza game, I believe. And they're finally bringing the series to Switch. And that's kind of like a really cool announcement in and of itself, because to me, the Switch, it's just further solidifying that has the best library ever. Like, I feel like you have everything on this thing, you know?
Ace Combat 7. Who the fuck called that one?
Yeah, even that fucking thing just got there. So it's like, dude, what else do you want? Like this, now the Yakuza games are going. We got Grand Theft Autos on the Switch. We got, you know.
Dude.
Incredible.
For anybody that says that the Nintendo Switch is going down, if they're a boxer, they're fucking going down swinging. Like, you better get out of the... You do not want to get in the way of somebody that's swinging on the way down, because that's how you can easily get knocked out. And that's great.
Yeah. They're Rocky and Rocky won. You lost, but he went down, swinging.
Yeah. Have you ever played... You said you've never played a Yakuza game. Not even for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, I have. I have tried it.
Okay.
It just...
Or Yakuza, depending who you ask.
Yakuza. Or now it's called Like a Dragon. They got rid of the Yakuza name.
Ooh.
But I forget which one I tried, but I did try one. And I remember I just couldn't get past the RPG elements. Because when I see a game like this, I'm thinking action game, Grand Theft Auto-ish, Mafia-ish, Sleeping Dogs-ish. And what I'm getting is an RPG game. And I'm like, God, this is not computing in my mind.
Right.
Something I've always tried to like hype myself up to try it again properly with maybe another title in the series, but I never did. And that's always been on my mind. Maybe one day I will try it again. But for what I have tried, it's not my thing right now.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah. I have a couple of them on the PlayStation 5 because a few of them have already been like the pick of the month, so it's like the freebie game.
Yeah.
So I have a few of them, but like I said, it's always been one of those series that I want to get into. And tell me if I've never said this before, it's on the backlog. You know what I mean? It's on the backlog somewhere.
Embrace the backlog.
I am the backlog.
Embrace it. Yeah. So that was Nintendo's Direct, and I thought it was a really good show. Again, look, I'm not expecting anything at this point. Like, I think the Switch had a really good run, and I'm just expecting the last direct they had with the first party stuff, I'm expecting, they're going to roll out those games. I'm excited for a lot of those. I thought that direct was actually really, really good. And I'm going to get them. I'm going to play them. I'm probably going to enjoy them a lot. But at this point, I'm just waiting for the Switch 2. I'm waiting for Nintendo's next big move,
Yeah.
So when we get little directs like this, it's just a nice little bonus, It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's coming too. Damn, okay. Yeah, like I said, who would have thought you'd be hyped for Tetris in 2024?
Right. No, for sure.
Yeah.